Okay, in today's lesson, we are reviewing our third form of the linear function, and that is point slope. So point slope is y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. So m, that's our slope. And then this x1, y1, x1, y1, that is a point. So those will be replaced with numbers. But then the just plain x and the plain y, those are going to stay x and y. Those are our variables. So what we're going to start with is simply, I'm going to give you some information, and we're going to plug the information into our formula. So first example, let's say I have an equation where the slope is 2. So I have this line, it's graphed, the slope is 2. And that line goes through the point -3, 4. All I need to do is plug this information into my formula. So slope is the m, so I'm going to plug in 2 here. And then my point, I've got the x value x1 and the y value y1. So if I rewrite this, the first y just stays y minus y1, there's my y value, so y minus 4 equals m, which is my slope 2, and then my variable x minus x1, which is -3. Anytime we have minus a negative, turns into plus. So if you look here, when I have a -3, it turned into +3. When I had a +4, it kept -4. So now that I have it in point slope form, can I change it to slope intercept form? So y minus 4 equals, on the right, I need to distribute this 2. So 2 times x and 2 times 3. And then I need to get y by itself, so I'm going to add 4 here and here. So now I have started in point slope form, but I'm ending in slope intercept form. So y equals 2x plus 10. Okay, my next example, same thing, but I'm going to give different information. This time, the information you're getting is just 2 points. So 1, -7, and 2, 3. So what this is, I've got 2 points, you connect them, make a straight line. Can we write the equation of that line? So same idea, we need to plug in our information. But I didn't tell you the slope. Well, we can find the slope using our formula. 3 minus -7 over 2 minus 1. So that will be 10 over 1, which is 10. So I'll be plugging in 10 here. Now you can choose either point to plug in for your y1 and your x1. Both points will result in the same final answer. Okay, so if I start with y minus, okay, what's my y1? -7, so that goes to +7 equals m, which is 10, and then x minus my x1, which is 1. All right, now to get this into slope-intercept form, distribute. So y plus 7 equals 10x minus 10, and then -7 minus 7, so y equals 10x minus 17. So real quick, you don't have to write this down. I just wanted to show you that when I use this point, 2 and 3, and I go through these steps, notice how I get the same answer at the end. As long as we have the correct slope, choose either point, you'll end up with the same slope-intercept line. Now we are looking, same idea, but we're going even further and looking into parallel and perpendicular lines. So parallel lines never intersect, and what's true about two parallel lines is they have the same slope. So here is the scenario. Let's say I have this equation, y equals -1/2 x plus 6. So first I'm just going to graph that. Starting at 6, and then I'm going to go down 1/2 for my slope. And draw the line. Okay, so here's the scenario. I want an equation and graph of a line that is parallel to that, but my new line goes through the point -4, 2. Okay, so let's think about this. So I'm just going to plot this on my graph. -4, 2 is right here. So my new point is not on this line, it's going to be on my new line. So parallel to my original one, I need, let's see, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So we're going to use this formula again, but we're going to plug in our information. If I have a line that's parallel, that means it's the same slope. So what was the slope here? -1/2. So over here, m is also -1/2. And then my new point, here's my x1 and my y1. So let's just plug in the information. Y minus y1 is 2. M is -1/2. And then x, because it's -4 for x1, that's +4. Now let's solve. Distribute, so y minus 2 equals -1/2 x, and then -1/2 times 4 is -2. And now add 2. Well, they both cancel. So you're left with y equals -1/2 x. So let's continue graphing. I've got down 1/2. Hey, what do you notice? It crosses 0, 0, which makes sense because my equation, the y-intercept, is 0. So when you go to graph these, you should see they have the same slope, which makes them parallel. Here is our last example, and this time we're looking at perpendicular lines. So perpendicular lines are two lines that intersect at 90 degrees, and they obviously don't have the same slope. What their slopes are, they're what we call opposite reciprocals. So opposite would be the positive, negative, and then reciprocal, that would be like 2 1/2, or 3/4 and 4/3. So if we have both going on, they will be perpendicular. Okay, so here's a scenario. Let's start with this equation. Y equals 4x plus 1. And let's just graph it right away. Y-intercept is at 1. Slope is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. Okay, so here's that graph. I want another line. I want a line that is perpendicular to that. Perpendicular to that, and it goes through a different point. It goes through the point -4, 4. So let's plot this point on there. -4, 4 is over here. So it needs to be perpendicular to the black line, but goes through this point. So perpendicular, let's think about that. If my slope on the first one is 4, a positive 4, my slope on my new one is, instead of positive, it's going to be negative, and instead of 4, it's 1/4. So same formula, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. let's plug in all the information. So y minus my y value is 4 equals my slope, -1/4, and then x, because my x1 is -4, it will go to +4. Okay, solve, distribute, distribute. So y minus 4 equals -1/4 x. Negative times a positive is negative, and then 4 times 1/4 is 1. Last step, add 4, add 4. So y equals -1/4 x plus 3. All right, let's plot that. Well, I know it has to go through the point -4, 4, and my slope is down 1 over 4. So down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, what do you notice? The 3. There's my y-intercept. Down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's connect. And these two lines you can see intersect at a right angle. So they are perpendicular. So lots of information on point slope form and then dealing with parallel and perpendicular lines. So good luck with your lesson.